If you're a dad like me, juggling work, stress, and just trying to be present at home, this video can literally change everything for you. Because over the last 7 years, I have sold over $14 million on Amazon. And this year alone, I will sell over $5 million with just one single brand. But this all honestly didn't even happen overnight, right? I started with maybe $5,000 in my pocket, no mentor, and just a drive to create real freedom. And not over for myself, but more importantly for my wife and my kids. But I'm no different than a lot of people because I went to public school here in LAUSD and I didn't vacation much growing up or much at all, right? My parents lost their house in 2008 with the great financial crisis. And my dad actually lost his job in the 2000 tech, basically boom and bust, right? But I was always a person that was driven. I had really good grades growing up. And I actually graduated from a state school here in the Northridge area or Los Angeles area in California with a bachelor's degree in business law and marketing. And when I graduated, I quickly started at a startup here in Encino and I got into real estate very early on, which is a different story from a different day as far as the burnout is concerned when it comes to real estate. And as you can see, like I married literally my high school sweetheart. You can see their first date was actually to Disneyland in 2011. And if you guys know what I mean by this, is that I always had potential. I was very smart. I played sports. I always got good grades. And I quote unquote had this potential by everybody that kind of met me at a young age. But that me having potential just made me feel a little bit more trapped because I always had to live up to that potential. And I felt like I was just stuck a lot in my life, right? And both my parents worked really hard. Like my dad, as I mentioned, was an engineer in the tech boom, lost his job there, got into real estate, wasn't $1 million listing type of individual, probably sold one or two houses per year. And my mom actually cleaned houses growing up. And they were present as much as they could be. And I always knew that when I had kids, I just wanted more than what I had, right? And when I was doing real estate, basically, if you guys know anything about real estate, it's like once one deal closes, you have to basically start over again and find another deal. And I felt like I was in a hamster wheel. So when I first started closing deals in real estate and actually started making some good money, I tried everything as far as making money online. Like I tried social media marketing, print on demand, which is a form of type of drop shipping, day trading, right? And none of them really offered all three freedoms I was looking for, which is that money freedom, that time freedom, and that location freedom, right? Being able to be wherever I want and my business didn't skip a beat. I would continue to get paid over and over again, right? And along the way of doing all of these, I also did what is called Amazon FBA. And this one became the one thing that I still do 7 years later. And I did this because I wasn't building a hustle. And I first got this like taste of success with Amazon FBA, and I'll never forget it. Right? Once you start making money and money starts coming in, and you understand how Amazon FBA works, it's literally a type of money glitch, right? Because I wasn't building a hustle. I was building a system that while I was in the park with my daughter, I was still making money. I could have took a trip to Europe for a full month and I was still making money. I could have been sick in bed, not being able to do anything, and I was still making money. Because you can see, this is how Amazon FBA works, right? Like you send products to Amazon. Amazon stores those products in their warehouse. And your job after that product is in that warehouse is just making sure you get eyeballs to see your actual product. Because when a customer buys your actual product, Amazon will pick, pack, and ship those products to the customer. And not only that, they handled any type of customer service, any customer complaints, any type of returns was all done or is still done by Amazon. So your job is don't run out of stock and get more eyeballs to your actual listing so you can make more sales. And why is Amazon even a better business model than the ones that I mentioned before and I tried before? And I ultimately quit the other ones because I was still making money on social media marketing. I was still making money on print on demand. I was still making money going ahead and doing day trading, right? But it didn't offer this benefits that Amazon FBA does. And I'm probably one of the most transparent people when it comes to Amazon FBA on YouTube because I actually tell you the products that I actually sell. Because I have three brands right now, and you can see Factory Lace is a shoe cleaning kit. Maverick is a weighted vest, chest packs in the health and fitness type of industry. And I have Nutri Labs, which is in the supplement space, right? So I'm very transparent. You can go on Amazon right now and see exactly how much I make with my Amazon FBA products, right? But let's go ahead and say why Amazon FBA was the best business model, right? Because there is upfront work with picking a product. But after that upfront work, there's nothing like it, right? You create the actual listing on Amazon FBA, you run advertising to your actual product, you reorder as needed so you don't run out of stock. After that, you are building a brand with value. Because the difference between all of these other type of business models and Amazon FBA is that you're actually building intellectual property, something that builds equity over time that you can eventually sell for life-changing amounts of money. And we'll get into a little bit because Maverick is a business that I actually purchased for $190,000 and I later on sold, or I'm selling right now for $2.2 million in as little as 3 years. And I'm literally going to reveal the exact strategies that I did over the last 3 years to scale this business out to go from a business worth 190 to over $2 million. And again, like I mentioned before, you can sell it on later on, right? So you take advantage of the monthly profits when it comes to Amazon FBA, because not only are you making monthly profit every single month, like in the terms of Maverick, I had my biggest month last month at $90,000 in profit, right? But you can later on sell this actual Amazon FBA business. So again, you get the best of every single world. You make money, you go ahead and have that time, location, money freedom, and then you can eventually sell this actual Amazon FBA business for life-changing amounts of money. So basically, how do you spot products to sell on Amazon? Because I'm gonna give you guys every single secret here. I'm not gonna hold anything back as far as what makes a product actually sell on Amazon FBA. And the first thing is the brand personality of your actual product. What makes a good product? You can see what I wrote down here. Pain points plus insecurities basically gives you a money glitch. And I need to go ahead and zoom in on this for you guys because you can see that this product that I mentioned here is a kind of a sleep aid, right? It says Beam Dream Sleep Powder, sleep supplement, sleep aid for adults. And if you look a little bit closely, you can actually see that this item has a 3.5 stars, barely has any reviews. And if you were to look at these actual reviews, a lot of them will tell you that this product is full of it, like full of SIHIT, and doesn't really help you to go ahead and sleep. But the thing is that when a customer has a pain point and they have an insecurity, like not being able to sleep is a huge insecurity, right? Like if you can't sleep, you might start getting black bags under your eyes. You wake up in a worse mood. You have attitude. You basically have mood swings as well, just because if you can't sleep. So people will go onto Amazon and hope and pray they can find a product that serves their pain point and insecurity, even though it might not work for the majority of people. Because if they see that it worked for some people, they find hope. And you can see this is a $62 item. But at the end of the day, when it comes to Amazon FBA, is that if you can fix any type of insecurity or pain point, your product will sell. Because as you can see, this actual product has sold 400 units in the last 30 days. So you know that you can go ahead and still make life-changing amounts of money if you know how to do this right. And as I mentioned here, right here, no one really cares about the features of the product. They care about how they will feel once they use your product. And I'm gonna dive a little bit into it because again, start taking notes here, right? Pain points, insecurities make you a lot of money. But there's one underlying type of thing that would go ahead and print money for you when it comes to Amazon FBA. And that is your positioning, right? More importantly, who is your customer avatar and how do you market towards them? And I have these examples right over here, but let's go ahead and start here. Your customer must be your best friend, meaning you have to know everything about your end customer, right? Like, what are they looking for? What are their pain points? What have they been researching? And why does your product go ahead and give them a solution, right? Figure out what they're looking for, and your product is the solution. And I talk about features, right? Like, no one really cares about your features because you can see the one that sells 600 units a day. Look at this product, right? Like they don't show anything that's in the actual item itself. It just says No next day grogginess, no weird dreams, just good quality sleep. You can see they're not mentioning anything that's inside their actual product. They're not showing you how much you actually get of the product. They're not showing you like them compared to the competition. They're literally just going ahead and featuring how it's going to go ahead and benefit you as the end consumer, right? And again, they're making money as opposed to this other product that sells the same exact thing. And trust me on it, I went ahead and did research before I posted this here. They sell the same exact thing. And you can see that they're just showing off their product, right? A 2-pack and being able to go ahead and just show 2 cups right next to it. But what value does this give this end consumer? Are they solving a pain point just like this actual customer? I mean, this actual brand, where they're showing pictures as far as how this product is going to make you feel after you use this product, not necessarily what the features of this product really is, right? And let's go ahead and kind of zoom out on here as far as like understanding your numbers when it comes to Amazon FBA, because revenue, which again I messed up here, it's supposed to say revenue, not reviews. And I like to do these things live, guys, so I will make mistakes from time to time. But that's one thing, right? Understanding your customer avatar is one thing, but you also have to understand your numbers, because I have seen people nail down their product, nail down their customer avatar, but because they don't understand the finances behind Amazon FBA, they end up failing because they end up losing money when it comes to Amazon FBA. But this is why you go ahead and subscribe to me, watch this YouTube channel, because you'll get these nuggets of information. But as I mentioned before, revenue does not equal profit. So what is the proper way of going ahead and structuring how much or how you can go ahead and come up with a product to actually sell? So once you hit those pain points, those insecurities, and once you start finding a manufacturer, you need to understand what you're going to go ahead and sell your product for. And you have to also understand COGS, which is cost of goods sold, which basically means how much are you going to go ahead and get this actual item to get manufactured and shipped into an Amazon warehouse. And after that, you have to understand the Amazon FBA fees, because there's 2 major fees that Amazon charges you, which is the 15% commission fee and the fulfillment fee to actually ship to a customer, right? These are the 4 type of major expenses: manufacturing, shipping to Amazon, the 15% commission fee when you sell any product, and the fulfillment fee, which is shipping to the customer. So if you're selling an item for $100, all of these 4 main fees that I mentioned here have to be at 50% or lower when you're going ahead and selling on Amazon FBA. Meaning that if I'm selling this actual product for $100, I have to make sure that all of these 4 fees are not more than $50 or 50%. And the reason for that is because of ads. And I will tell you that selling on Amazon and learning ads, which is Amazon PPC, which is price per click, pay per click, is the fastest way to scale a business. And how do I know this? Well, because this is what I do, right? So scale with advertising. And people are not window shoppers when it comes to Amazon. Customers are in Amazon to actually buy, right? Like, when's the last time you went to Amazon to just window shop? Likely you are going on Amazon because you need something and you need that thing quickly. So this is why you shop on Amazon, right? So pay per click, basically you don't go ahead and pay until someone clicks on your item. And once you're able to identify those keywords that convert for your actual product, this is the money glitch that I'm talking about. But this is why margin is really important, because you're going to go ahead and spend right around 20 to 30% of your sales price on advertising. So that means that if you are selling an item that costs $100, you have to assume that's going to cost you $20 to $30 to go ahead and convert a customer, right? Which leaves you with a 20 to 30% profit margin. So again, as I mentioned before, if you're selling a $100 item, you can expect that for every single fee associated with Amazon, you're going to collect anywhere between a 20 to 30% profit margin, which is $20 to $30 for every $100 of inventory you actually sell. Which again, if you start scaling out very quickly, this adds up quickly. And Amazon FBA is probably one of the most easiest type of business models to actually scale, because the system is already set up for you. And again, how do I know this? And how do I know that Amazon PPC is basically a money glitch? Well, I used it for Maverick. And you can see I show proof, right? I sell this actual product. I purchased this product 3 years ago for $190,000. And today, as I showed you proof, it is on sale for $2.2 million. So in just 3 years, I have been able to go ahead and collect money every single month with Amazon with just one brand. Again, I own 2 other brands. And I'm able to go ahead and build equity of up to $2 million. Now, show me any type of other business model that can allow you to do the same thing. And the thing is that like now I have that freedom. As I mentioned before, I'm able to go ahead and go to the south of France, right? Go to Rome, go to Milan, go on a random Tuesday to Disneyland without having to ask anybody. I finally have that money, that time, and that location freedom. But I'll tell you guys this right now. This life is possible. Not because I'm lucky, but because I built it literally brick by brick. It took me 7 years, right? And the thing is that I could have done this a lot faster. I mentioned before, I barely had any money when I first got started, and I didn't have a mentor. And the thing is, I'm not alone on this, right? Like I'm just not lucky, and this is me being one of the 1% of the 1%, because I'm literally not the only one that has done this, right? Who else am I talking about, or who else have done this before? Well, I have another student by the name of Sherwin that has one single product, and he went from making $15,000 a month in revenue to $45,000 per month in revenue in just 2 weeks by me having a conversation with him about scaling on Amazon FBA, primarily with PPC. But Sherwin is one, right? We scaled his product out. Well, David literally started from scratch. And in just 2 months, he was able to launch his product and is now the #1 new release on Amazon once it comes to pet supplements, which is insane. This market is going to be bananas, and David is on his way to going ahead and making life-changing amounts of money. But Kevin also went ahead and started Amazon FBA, sells one product, and makes over $100,000 per year. And again, this is not the only person. I have Nick that just started Amazon FBA and already had a $900 day in revenue, right? How can an extra $200 in profit, right, change your life? You can only see this. Like, you don't need these big, ginormous numbers for it to have a huge impact on your actual life. And this is not one of them. This is another student as well. This is another student as well saying that we need to slow down Amazon PPC because he's basically going to sell out of his actual inventory. So again, this type of business model is 100% attainable. And basically from now to 120 days, you can literally have Amazon have another side income that can potentially become a full-time income in as little as 120 days. And how do I know it's 120 days to do this? Well, I've proven it, right? Like I've taken students from knowing zero knowledge when it comes to Amazon FBA to actually making profit in as little as 120 days. And again, it's not just me. There's all these other students as well. So if you are interested in going ahead and working with me one-on-one and growing your Amazon FBA business to hopefully get to where I'm at, right? Because there's going to be some students that make way more than me. Just DM me the word brand, right? And where do you DM me the word brand? Go ahead and go on my actual Instagram. My Instagram is the same type of handle that I have here on YouTube. It's going to be Eman Los Angeles. Again, DM me brand to Eman Los Angeles. And let's see if we can go ahead and kind of build your life just like I have built my life when it comes to Amazon FBA. Because I'll tell you this right now, it has been so life-changing to be able to have those actual freedoms. Like I still remember when I got my first couple sales on Amazon FBA. And I mentioned it earlier that it was literally a life-changing thing because I feel like I did nothing to go ahead and do that because Amazon has built out a scaling system that actually works. And this is why I'm going ahead and being an advocate of signing up as many people to go ahead and change your life as well. But if you guys decide not to go ahead and sign up, that's completely fine. Continue watching my YouTube videos because I'm always giving out free game. And all I ask in return is for you guys to consider subscribing to this YouTube channel to go ahead and know more game when it comes to Amazon FBA. And like this video, because if you like this video, it's going to get pushed onto the algorithm and maybe I change someone else's life as well. But until next time, guys, peace.